Eric Hornhaver, Brett Dawson, after the Thunder's 110-79 blowout of the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Thunder gets back on track. They played poorly for about a week and a half, but that was really the backstory tonight. The big story was Russell Westbrook tying Oscar Robertson single season record for triple doubles with 41 triple doubles in a season. He's got 5 games to go, a chance to break that record. He certainly probably will. Again, talking. He certainly will in these next 5 games. It's just a matter of when. Next 4 on the road, 1 more at home. But we've got to see a side of Westbrook tonight that we typically don't see, and it was kind of spurred by the Thunder fans and their appreciation during that third quarter.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice moment because of the lead they had. They were up by as many as 39 points. I don't remember what the lead was when he got the actual triple-double. He got a rebound, pushed the ball, threw it long to Taj Gibson for a layup, and got the assist in short succession there. So he got that 10th assist. The crowd aware of it. There was a kind of a tracker going on, a big ovation. The game sort of stopped. It wasn't like a big stop for a ceremony, but they recognized it. People cheered, and he was really moved by it, I think is the right word. He seemed a little bit caught up in it, and that continued after the game. And talking to Andre Robertson, he said, he's this ferocious human being, was the way he put it, out on the court. And he said it was nice to see him kind of just soak it in and kind of glow in that moment. And that is not something we see from Westbrook. He has said a bunch of times this year, maybe when this is over, he'll appreciate it, like he'll have a sense of what he's done. But tonight was a night where you could see he's appreciating it in the moment too.
Yeah, and after the game, you got a side of Westbrook that you typically don't get as well. He was, he answered a lot more questions than he typically does. He admitted to being tough to concentrate in certain situations when he was when he got the record or when the record was approaching. He mentioned that he airballed. Yeah, he mentioned that he airballed on the next play. Next shot after the record happened, and then the crowd was cheering MVP, and you couldn't even hear the public announcer who was trying to give all the acknowledgments, the 41 triple doubles and such, and then Westbrook just brings up his son, that's soon to be born son, in post game, and says, this is one of those moments that he'll be able to tell his son when his son reaches a certain age. It was just something that we weren't used to seeing from Russell Westbrook, and it was nice to see because this is a guy that's pretty close guarded, and he's a guy that's very small circle and whatnot, and he's a fierce competitor, as Andre Robertson said, but he doesn't give us those candid moments very often.
Yeah, people are enjoying his season. A lot of people are enjoying it. His teammates very much are enjoying it. Fans are enjoying it, not just here, but all over the league. People who follow the league, commentators, former players, people are really getting a thrill out of the season. And it's nice occasionally to see that he is enjoying it too, because while that seems pretty obvious, like of course he's enjoying himself, he doesn't let us know that very often. It's not in his persona. He always is kind of stone-faced or has his game face on or whatever, and sometimes is not real forthcoming with us when he talks to us. So that was kind of cool to see. It was just a cool kind of window into the fact that the guy is having some fun with this. I'm sure it's been a little bit stressful too, because he wants to do this. He wants to get the chase, and he's almost done. He's almost to the finish line, and I think you're starting to see the kind of that it's been an emotional thing for him.
We'll get to the question of him having enough emotional energy to get them through a first-round playoff series. We'll get to that. But tonight, the team as a whole played really well. Andre Robertson was unbelievable tonight on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I will say his full name, Giannis. The defense as a whole was much better than the previous game against Charlotte. You had much better effort from your second unit guys. The second unit started poorly against Charlotte. Started great tonight. Enes Kanter had 17 points. Alex Abrinas had 12 points before he sprained his left knee, and that's going to be something that remains to be seen for the next game against the Grizzlies. That might be a situation where he doesn't play for a few games so they can get him back to health. It just depends on what the diagnosis is with him, but a much better all-around performance from the Thunder tonight on a historic night.
Yeah, it would be nice if Alex Abrinas is sidelined for any length of time is if Doug McDermott would play the way he played tonight. He didn't make a three, but otherwise he was scoring, he had the floater working, and he was engaged defensively. He had a blocked shot, Eric.
Yeah,
Doug McDermott blocked a shot.
Chase down kind of block. That was impressive at the end of the
fifth block of the season.
Yeah,
first block as a Thunders. So big moment.
It was a historic night. It wasn't just a Westbrook historic night. It was a Doug McDermott historic night. That's what we should be celebrating.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. The block shot.
I'm sorry,
Dougie McBlockets. But Abrinas is going to get an MRI. They'll see how they probably won't know until probably closer to game time tomorrow what the situation is going to be. But he before he got hurt, he did make shots, and that was a big thing for them. He's been shooting about 29% over the last month, so it was good to see him make some shots. They played. Samaje Christian played really well. They were good all over. Domantas Sabonis made some threes.
Yeah.
They were good all over the court on the bench. And look, Milwaukee didn't put up much of a fight, but they did a really good job of taking Milwaukee out of the game early.
Thunder hits the road now for 4 games. Memphis, Phoenix, Denver, Minnesota before closing at home against Denver next week on the 12th. Here's some post-game video from Billy Donovan, and we're going to let you look at the whole Russell Westbrook clip because it's pretty good stuff.
That's unbelievable. It's something that, I can't describe. To see the joy that they have and the respect they have for me is unbelievable.
You talked about leadership earlier today and how that was one of your main goals, just to kind of see how you've developed in that way. That has to make moments like this really special for you too.
Definitely, man. It's something that I could never dream about growing up in the city of Los Angeles. Never dream about a moment like this, to be able to be on this stage and to be able to lead and find ways to lead a group of guys is unbelievable and a blessing for me.
How do you feel in that moment when they stopped the game and the MVP chance to reign on you? Just talk about that moment for you.
Oh, man, I was in shock, honestly, man, just kind of sitting there, kind of embracing the moment. And, I didn't realize they were stopping it for me until the ref was holding the ball. But I was just sitting there, man, and just, just thanking God for the opportunity to play, man, because I've had different opportunities where I've been hurt and sitting out, and me to be able to have an opportunity to play is something that I never would take for granted.
Russell, what would it mean if you were able to surpass Oscar Robertson, getting 42?
I mean, just right now I'm gonna just embrace this moment. Honestly, man, I think moments like this, you like to cherish, and something I can, tell my new son, as he gets older, and I think you cherish moments like this.
Is it hard to keep your concentration in those moments?
Go ahead, Phil.
Is it hard to keep your concentration in those moments when you got to go out and play a basketball game 5 seconds later?
Definitely. I just airballed a 3 right after that. So, definitely. But at the same time, I mean, you was winning, and that's the most important part. And tonight was a great night.
Russell, you've said a bunch of times this year that you'll appreciate this later down the road. Is this one of the first times this season you've stopped to appreciate it?
Definitely, man. I think the overwhelming support really shows just from obviously here, but all across the world, and different people that support me and our team, and the Thunder. I think that's the most important part, to be able to see that.
Hey Russ, please tell us, how do you have the energy 41 times a year to get a triple double like this?
I really don't know to tell you. I just go out and compete at a high level every night and try to find ways to help my team win. I think as a leader, my job is to come out and make sure I have that energy and have that sense of urgency for my teammates.
Coming into the game, you mentioned turnovers and then kind of 48 minutes of defense that you wanted to see. How good was that to find that tonight?
It was huge. I think from the tip, I think you did a good job of making it tough for them. They're a good team, and they're in a race just like we are. We're trying to position ourselves, so I think it was a good job by us.
Russell, to surpass a guy like Oscar Robertson with the next one, what would that mean for you just as a legacy?
I mean, that's definitely an honor to just be mentioned in a conversation with Oscar Robertson and the different things he did for the game of basketball to allow me to play the game today. I think that's more important. I mean, obviously triple doubles are a great thing, but I think just the way he played the game, the time, the era when he played the game to allow me to be able to, guys like me to be able to play basketball and go out and do it.
His status kind of as a pioneer on a lot of different fronts means something to you personally?
Definitely, man. I think, especially back, when he was playing, the game was different, the times were different, and different things were going on around the world. And I think that's something that, that I can sit back and think about and be thankful, for players like him, and not just him, but other guys that played in there as well, to allow guys like myself to go out and play basketball.
Well, I thought, coming out, we played well on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. I really thought we got back to really moving the basketball. We had 18 assists in the first half, and ended up with 29 for the game, which was encouraging. And overall, I thought we played well. The other part of that, I think, for Russell to be able to do what he did tonight, really, really remarkable. There's a reason that record has stood for as long as it has, but I think the great part about it also was, I think, our entire team shared in that as well, and everybody was a part of it, which was kind of great. So, hopefully we can go on the road tomorrow and play and build off of what we did tonight.
know we asked you 15 different ways about it pregame. You just talked about it, but kind of pausing the game there for a minute and Russ, acknowledging it. I mean, that had to feel like a pretty great moment to be a part of.
It really was. I mean, I'm not trying to diminish or not. I don't want to talk about. It's not about diminishing. I mean, what he has done historically is just remarkable in this day and age, and the fact that what Oscar Robertson did so long ago has really stood the test of time to show, how hard it is to do what he did, and no one really probably has ever come close. And I do really feel like tonight was a team moment too. And obviously Russell was the one that scored and assisted and rebounded, no question. But you have to be part of a team for that to happen. That was the really, I think, great part too. I think Russell was really humbled, and the guys were great. Certainly the fans were awesome, and rightfully so. I mean, what he did, up to this point in time was historic. And people said they've never seen a person put up numbers like that. And the other part of it that's been really, I think, positive too is when that's happened, our team has won. I'm not saying win all the time, but clearly when he's impacting the game with his assists, his rebounds, and scoring, it has helped our team. And I think the record speaks for itself. And I don't want to sit there and say we need him to do that every night, because I don't believe that's the case. But I do think that when he does do that, he's impacting the game in so many ways. It's always a positive for our team.